Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to see you. I swear we were waiting for Wednesday.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. I really enjoyed your speech last time.
Thank you. Thank you. Are you speaking next week?
Pardon?
Are you speaking next week?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get it.
I would love to hear you speak, maybe next week or the week after. I love your wisdom.
Oh, well, thank you. I enjoy your wisdom. Thank you. You know, these days there's a lot of going on about Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
You know, that George Floyd's funeral that was well attended. Hello?
Yes, it was well attended. It was a lot of people. It was on the
of people. Yeah, you know, in 1984, we had a big tragedy at the Golden Temple in Amritsar. Because of a variety of reasons, the government of India Army invaded, you know, to remove some so-called undesirable people from there. But that was all brought about a sore political situation. And a lot of people were killed in that process. And subsequently, there were also several massacres where very innocent Sikhs were killed in that. So we've been going through that, reliving that trauma, starting from June 1 to 6.
Unfortunately, it's happening here too in America. You had a lot of, since George Floyd died, during the protest, a lot of police officers, they used the protest to do harm.
Yes.
A lot of people have been hurt. It's time for the police to understand that they're here to take care of us and not to, it's not the Gestapo. They think like it's the Gestapo. Police around the world have the wrong image of themselves.
Yes.
They're better than all of us because they wear a badge, and they are wrong. They are so wrong. It's such shameful. Fortunately, it's only a small number of them.
Yes. You know,
but
eventually.
They are the ones doing the worst. They had a lot of pain. They hurt a lot of people in New York. They hurt a lot of people in Minneapolis. You saw what the president did in Washington on Monday. He had them charged with gas, and these people was very quiet, was silent protesters.
Yes. You know, I have many Jewish friends here in Daytona Beach, Florida. And as a matter of fact, one of my niece in New York, in Long Island, is married to a Jewish fellow. They have one son. He's a very nice family. And several of my other friends, they have relationships, Jewish relationships. So hello?
I'm here.
Yeah, okay. Often when we talk about Jewish and Sikh people's background, we often look at it. Hello. Hi. James, you're there? And I mean.
Hi, James.
Yeah, okay. So we often talk about, looks like Jewish is the oldest religion I know, and Sikhism is the latest. It's like,
the Jew, we are like, I think 5,700 and something in 19.
yes.
I think, you know, I said for me, the moment they start the Jews with I think it's when the humanity, when the first man, or what, I mean, not the first man, because I believe in, I think then realize the consciousness, that they see the difference between man and animal. When they realize that they can think and that it was something bigger than everything else. That, I think, when they start, the Jews start to have the first, we say the Jews, but I say the first human being who realized that he was something bigger than him, that he was not an animal, that he had a brain to think. And I think that when he realized consciousness, and he started to write about his wife, Adam and Eve, and all the stories start. But I think that really started the humanity point when we make a difference, that we were not, we had a conscious, and we had a brain, and we had a heart that we can think and use it. That when we realized that he was, you know, God, but I call it consciousness. Hi, Remy.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, hi, man.
Hi, namaste. How is everybody?
Namaste, how are you?
Good.
Hello,
I have a
everyone.
favor, actually, Remy.
Yes.
I have a favor. I send you an email, text message. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't want to take some time. But Remy, Belinda in South Africa asking me for the recording on last week and you talking this week because she cannot be online. Can you send it to her, please?
Yes, I don't think I got your message, but usually every week I send the recording to Dilipji. So if you send me, where did you send the request to?
I asked Guruji, and Guruji sent me to send you a mail. So I sent you a request on Facebook Messenger.
Oh, really? I don't think I got it.
Okay, well, look for it. It's okay, but maybe if you can send it to Belinda, that would be very nice because Guruji told me that you're the one who have it. Sorry, everybody. Nice day.
Yeah, I do have it, but you can resend it. I mean, you can resend me the request.
You can send it to me, and you today. She want to hear you, but she's not going to be able to be on the call today.
Okay.
And she want to listen to what you have to say. So I don't know why she asked me, but like.
So you want the one from last week and this week, or just the one for today?
No. But this week too, she want to listen to you, Remy.
Okay.
Don't be shy.
Yeah. So let me see if I can.
When you have time, next week, whenever you have time. Reverend Gabriel, everybody, hi.
Namaste. Hi, Remy.
Where's Guruji?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Remy.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Namaste, everyone.
Bless you. Namaste. Where's Guruji?
Hello.
Hi, Raj. Hi, Gabriel. James.
Hello.
Gopal.
Hello.
Rajit.
Hello, everyone. Namaste.
Somebody coming in. Peace lights.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi, Ranjit. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I wish you all of you all the best.
I'm here.
Back to you.
I've been watching there.
I'm not feeling well today, so I'm attending without the video.
Oh, I'm sorry to
Not
hear
in
that.
Yeah, I have a toothache.
Oh.
But I think listening to you all, I think I'll be well, 100% well.
We'll send you prayers right now.
Thank you so much.
Be well soon.
Who's the patron saint of teeth?
Who is? I don't know.
Hmm.
Do you know?
No.
I'm sure there is one.
The question?
Remy.
Yes.
Are you beginning this? I know you're talking, but where's Guruji?
I'm waiting for Guruji.
Oh, you're waiting for him, I see.
Yeah.
There he is.
Let me double. Oh, okay, there he is.
Guruji, we have a frozen picture of you.
Yeah. Oh, dang, he went away. Oh, okay, there.
Yeah, Victor, you went away.
Hi, Peace Lights. How are you?
Hello, Remy.
There he is.
Hey,
Namaste.
namaste, namaste. It took around 10 minutes to open the computer.
Namaste.
Namaste, Guruji.
Everything going well?
Namaste, namaste.
Pete, you're this way.
So, let me see the chat. We have everyone is on, right? Okay, that's good. Sir Remy, are you ready?
Yes, I didn't even know I was speaking until I saw my Facebook. I was going through my Facebook page yesterday,
Right.
and I was looking at your page, and I saw Dr. Remy Alapo. I thought maybe you meant I was hosting it, you know, with my Zoom account or something.
That's the thing I asked last week.
Oh, really?
So, namaste everyone. I am to introduce Remy, Dr. Remy Alapo. He is our one of the long time friend. I think more than 10 years she's with our Interfaith group. I met her from Unification Theological Seminary and 43rd Street through Unification Church. And we did so many events together, and she is one of the NGO representative at the UN. And here is Remy Alapo, Dr. Remy Alapo. You're done.
Hi, how is everybody doing? Good to see all of you. Like I said, I was a little bit surprised that I was speaking today, but of course, you know, it's always a pleasure being here. I would like to first start with a prayer. Given, you know, we're just coming out of the COVID pandemic, and now into these tumultuous, you know, demonstrations and events and activities all over the United States and around the world. I would like to offer a prayer of Psalm 91, which is a prayer of protection, before we start our discussion. And it reads, today I dwell in the secret place of the Most High, and so I abide in the shadow of the Almighty. Today I say of the Lord, you are my refuge and my fortress. My God, in you I trust. Surely you deliver me from the snare of the fowler and from the pestilence. You cover me with your feathers, and under your wings I trust. Your truth is my shield and buckler. And so I am not afraid for the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor for the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor for the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall by my side, and 10,000 at my right hand, but they shall not come near me. And I will stop there for that prayer, that may you all have protection. May you be comforted by God's presence in your lives for your loved ones, including your loved ones and yourself, because right now, so much is going on around the world, especially in the United States. You know, we had 2 months or 2.5 months where, you know, every Wednesday when we met, we would discuss protection and, you know, for people, and prayers for people who had lost loved ones due to COVID-19, and also pray for understanding and God's guidance, and that His grace to be upon us, you know, for Him to shadow His protection each and every one of us. Then came May 25th, you know, the murder of George Floyd, and following that, the unrest or demonstrations that have been going on in the United States. And I believe that as religious leaders, you know, as faith leaders, as one family under God, this is a good time. I mean, no time has ever been better than this, which of course there have been many other occasions where people have come together, but not as we're seeing now. You know, all over the world, you know, we see the manifestation of God's presence in people's lives, that, you know, an end must come to racial injustice. You know, an end must come to racial discrimination. An end must come to lack of tolerance or understanding of other people. You know, a person's unique tradition or cultural expression should not be seen as a threat to someone else. A person's cultural gestures should not be seen as a violation or oppression that, you know, the person based on their color, they're about to attack, or they have a hidden weapon, or they, you know, that they were gonna take out or something like that, you know. So as faith leaders, as people who have traveled all over, and people who are engaged every day with all types of people, you know, we can teach one to teach one and lead one. You know, each and every one of us has the responsibility to teach one person so that they can teach another person, and we lead, you know, using our leadership, you know, our religious leadership capabilities to speak to people in our communities, our various communities, on how we can work better, tolerate other people, and understand other people. Of course, you know, this is not saying that we don't have our reservations, or, you know, we don't have a way, or we should not protect our own selves. Of course, if somebody is being aggressive towards a person, you have to do what is best for you. You know, you have to protect yourself. Sometimes you may need to reflex so that the person will not take advantage of you. But just coming out of the blue and assuming that a specific or one race, you know, is a single story, saying that one entire race depicts the example of everyone who looks like that, is very wrong. And I don't want to use the single story of Black and white racial discrimination in the United States. You know, there are, of course, many other racial groups and ethnic groups that, you know, reside in the United States. The same happened with many people of Arab descent, you know, after 9/11. The mere fact that you may be a Muslim, not even Arab, you know, you attended mosque, many people were afraid that you may be a terrorist, or, you know, the Quran that you were learning, you know, the teachings were very extremist, you know. Many people would go to other communities or learn about other people, and automatically they assume, you know, that they either are carrying a weapon, they were gonna blow up buildings, or, you know, they were there to be aggressive all the time. So it's very unfortunate what happened with Mr. George Floyd, but we see it all the time in our community, especially in communities of color. And, you know, one thing that I'm actually very happy about, in the last 10 years, if you go to many of these communities of colors, they have been so diverse now because of gentrification. Even though gentrification, you know, I'm not for it. I'm not for kicking people out of their homes and making them homeless, or making housing not affordable. But the good side of gentrification, of people moving into many communities, is that we see the diversity and people who are now getting to acknowledge or know each other, you know? So those communities we call communities of colors are now being, you know, they're more diverse now than before. But of course, you know, economic situation or prices of, let's say, groceries or amenities or housing in those neighborhoods, we know that's another type of injustice. When what God provides for everybody that should be adequately distributed is not spread out evenly, and one group of people or certain class of people can afford or get better these amenities, and others are left hungry. I don't think it is the teaching of God that he would like to see his children hungry. I don't think he wants to see his children homeless. I don't think he wants his children to be fighting every day. I don't think he wants disunity. So as religious leaders, I believe that we should have the courage to be able to actually teach, you know, discuss with each other, you know, share with each other how to better talk or discuss with people in our communities, how to embrace others, how to teach them the teachings of God, you know, of humanity, you know. We may not side with each other's teaching, but always remember, everyone, every religion, every person on earth, you know, has one higher being. We may have a different way of praying, We may have a different way of calling people to prayer. We may have a different way of bringing people to God. We may have a different way of showing or expressing our humanity. But at the end of the day, what is the end goal? Everyone is trying to get to this one universal higher is God, right? The African, in his African spirituality, may need to go into the river to pray to the goddess, the water goddess, you know, for spiritual cleansing before connecting with God. You know, the Christian may need to, you know, a born again Christian may need to like speak in tongues to invoke, you know, the presence of God in their midst, or to, you know, ask the Holy Spirit to dwell in them so that they can have this connection to God, and so on and so forth. We may have several intermediaries. It could be Buddha, it could be Jesus, it could be, you know, Muhammad, it could be any person that, or individual or leader. It could even be Sai Baba, you know. It can be the intermediary of who we look up to before we're connecting or reaching this higher being, which is God. Many religious leaders have, you know, teachings to their students or to their congregants or to their followers. But I don't think you will have one religious leader that is going to say there is no higher being that, you know, we're all trying to get to. So if there's this higher being, why do human beings always think that they're better than other people? You know, they're worth more than other people. They look better than other people. They deserve better than other people. You know, why would we always, you know, be thinking that way? It's not the teaching of God. It's human behavior, human teaching, learned behavior that we learn, you know, we see from other people, you know. So for example, many people are carried away by, you know, teachings of people around them, because we're looking to join a group or affiliate with a group, because we're seeking acceptance. Even when we know what we're doing is wrong, even when we know those people, their actions are wrong, we immediately follow them, because we think that once, you know, I'm accepted, I can be part of this group, I can have access to this, I'll be able to, you know, afford that, I'll be able to now be seen as an important person. But remember, one day everybody is going to die, you know. So if we die and we have to ask ourselves, are we going to go in front of this higher being God? And when he asks us, what have you been doing since you were on earth? Have you been tolerant to your neighbor? Have you been nice to your fellow human beings? You know, what is going to be the answer? Are you going to say, oh, I was trying to get into this group, I was trying to be like this person, so I took up arms and I started killing people just to show that I was strong enough? Those people are not coming to the same place as you. On that day, you'll be the only one answering for yourself. You'll be the one standing the test of time. Your friends that, you know, you were showing off to are not going to be there, you know, justifying why they know you or why they think you should be here or go to heaven or not. You'll be there by yourself, answering the question by yourself. So many of us need to look within ourselves. And I'm not saying you know, sitting on this platform, I'm speaking in general. We need to look within ourselves. Does our actions towards other people, does it exude the teaching or love of God? What would God say if he were to see any one of you right now? Would he say, wow, you actually you're after my heart, and what is in God's heart for fellow, you know, for our fellow human beings, for the sake of humanity, you know, he can see it in your heart. He can see the goodness and his kindness in your heart. He can say you're one of his children, you know. Will God be able to say that to you when you actually meet him? We need to start thinking about that. We need to start sharing this message with our loved ones, with our neighbors, with our friends, and say, my fellow human being, if you're demonstrating in the name of racial justice, if you want to bring an end to police brutality, want to bring hope for humanity, if you want to love your neighbor as you love yourself, if you want to show them the kindness of the goodness of God, if you want to incorporate the teachings of Martin Luther King Jr. of pacifist nonviolence, why would you pick up arms and prove to the police that you have ammunition? Why would you go loot to prove that now you have something, you've gained something from all this? Now, if we're going irate, it's not going to bring the dead back. It's unfortunate, you know, many of us would wish that if we go irate on a rampage, the dead may wake up and join us again. It is very unfortunate. George Floyd is not going to come back. We can demonstrate peacefully as one family under God. The police, remember, they have all types of ammunition. They're always fully loaded. That is their job. You know, they're law enforcement. They enforce the law and they bring order to disorderly locations. So if we think we may overpower law enforcement by bringing weapons and breaking window or glass or killing other people, it's not going to speak well for who we are. The best way to fight racism, the best way to fight racial injustice is to prove and show the other party that we're not like them, to do something that is different. Show them the love of God. They will be embarrassed, first of all, that, wow, I was so mean to you and here you are so kind to me. That love that you show towards them alone, it can cripple them. It can cripple their mind. You know, when you show the love of God towards your fellow human beings, most times they are embarrassed and they're like, wow, I was so mean to you and here you are showing me love. It can transform many people. Many of us don't know where many of these people, how they grew up, where they're coming from, where they've been. Many of us also, of course, we're not saying that, you know, we have rosy lifestyle, but the fortunate thing with the group of friends that we're on this platform, we've cultured or acculturated. We've been acculturated to learning about each other, knowing about each other. You know, we've done so many activities together. So it's been ongoing for so many years that the tolerance and the lifestyle, you know, our demeanor, the outlook on life is so natural. You know, we've learned it from one another. We tolerate one another. We're brothers and sisters, one family under God. So to us as religious leaders, of course, we're the example that we need other people to follow. Where we need, you know, we're the example that we've actually, I would say, going to seminary or engaging with other people from other culture or religious tradition is sort of a sacrifice that each and every one of us on this platform has made. We made the sacrifice not to be on the street. We made the sacrifice not to be violent. You know, we made the sacrifice to actually learn about God, to let God dwell in us every day. We made the sacrifice to love our fellow brother and sister, irrespective of whether they're white, whether they're yellow, whether they're brown, whether they're black, you know, it does not matter. Whether their color even looks like the rainbow color of light, it does not matter. We know, you know, it's a unique gathering of people, you know, one family under God. Many times when we have our interfaith gatherings with the liturgy, I'm always so impressed at the level of people, the types of people, the caliber of people that show up, that, you know, the love that we have for one another is so unique. You know, you don't find that in many communities. You know, how many communities do you see? Do you find a Hindu, a, you know, Christian, a Muslim, even a pagan, an atheist, a Jain, you know, a Jewish, you know, Sai Baba, you know, so many types of people love each other. And an African, you know, love each other so much, you know, the way we hug each other, the way we sing, the way we call God into our presence, we should be able to share that beyond the room of the interfaith where we are every month or even every week. So I would like us to actually speak to people we know, teach one to love one, teach two to love two, and spread that continuously. Demonstration is good. Protest, I don't really support. Protest usually comes with a lot of violence. Demonstration, we can have silent demonstrations. You know, we can demonstrate our dissatisfaction with racial injustice by other means, using other mediums. We can do it through education. We can do it through music and dancing, spreading messages. We can march even without saying anything. You know, that demonstrates dissatisfaction that people are aware of these injustices that we need to put an end to, you know. But running around, killing people, setting cars and houses on fire, damaging property, looting, at the end of the day, it's going to give us temporary material satisfaction. You know, we've gained, you know, one item that we looted or several, but at the end of the day, is it going to give us the inner peace of God's presence in our lives? That's what we need to think of. Is God going to be in your heart when he sees your fellow, the damage to your fellow human being? So I would like to stop there. And if you have questions, you can ask me. And I thank you again for the opportunity to be able to speak in today's forum. Namaste.
Remy, I had a problem with the computer. Can you make Dilip Kumar Nagappan as the host?
Okay, I think I made you the host already.
No, that was in another computer. I'm using.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes, so I made you the host now.
Yeah, thank you. So anybody can ask questions. I will bring to the discussion.
Oh, I see a message in the chat by Ranjit.
Right.
And he says, teach one to love one. Every day, the world witnesses countless cases of violence, animosity, hatred, racism, casteism, crimes, and wars. We may not be in a position to catch hold of the perpetrators of such acts and possibly stop them. But what we can do is to promise ourselves never to involve ourselves in such acts. We can also share our thoughts to people we know, teach one to love one. Thank you so much for adding to my presentation.
I have a request. Can you bring some idea to explain how you became interested in Interfaith, or why? What is your background? Your childhood in Nigeria, or those things?
Yeah, so when I grew up in Nigeria, my family, in our hometown, we were noted for being Baptist. So it's strictly a Baptist community. But when my parents moved out of the town, they still maintained, affiliation as being Baptist. And later on, before I came to the United States, I became born again Pentecostal. And, I lived in an environment where many people were well versed with other cultures and tradition, because it was sort of like an exclusive select environment that more than 50% or 70% or so of the people who live there had traveled outside of Nigeria, or were, in an environment that afforded them the opportunity to meet or mingle with those who were different from them. So I'd always been interested in learning about other people's culture, not so much religion. The religion was, it happened out of just, I don't know if to say by accident or by chance, but without me prepared to be in an interfaith environment. My first inclination when I moved back to New York City after college was to work, of course, at the UN, and I wanted to travel around, work around the world, learn about diversity, other people working, together in one environment on maybe any one or more global issue. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to find employment on time. And I had always been interested in peace building anyway, but in terms of diversity, tolerance, you know, teaching peace building. And later on, I met a friend where, you know, both of us were seeking employment opportunities at the UN. So we would be there from morning to night. And I think that's how I came along and met many people who, you know, were in, you know, who attended other events. You know, that's where I met so many other of our interfaith friends and stuff like that. So one day, someone had invited me, you know, to Unification Church. And this was my friend that we used to be at the UN, you know, together morning till night, attending one meeting, reception or another, with the hope that one day, you know, we'll be working there or something, you know. So she wasn't able to come to the Unification Church, but I went to meet one of the administrators at the seminary, and, you know, after the church service. And I was so intrigued by all these people from so many diverse cultural backgrounds, so many religious backgrounds. I mean, there were even imams, you know, attending church, and I didn't know how that worked, you know, because if you're Christian, you should be Christian. But if you're Muslim, you should be Muslim. If you're a rabbi, you should be a Jewish, you know, a Jew, you know, in the synagogue. But then I saw all these people together, and I was so happy. And then I learned about the Unification Theological Seminary as an interfaith seminary. So I started affiliating with them, taking, you know, classes. And that's when I started my interfaith love for, you know, in addition to my cultural diversity learning. And sooner I started working there. I was responsible for the chapel services and the interfaith activities for the seminary. And that's when I met my friend Dilipji, you know, and we started our small seminary Wednesday afternoon interfaith events. Sometimes it would just be he and I and the director of interfaith development from the seminary. And then before we knew it, you know, he started his World Yoga Community interfaith activities where, you know, from the seminary, we partnered together. You know, we would host the meetings there, and so many other people started coming. And from there, you know, from my experience or affiliation with the Unification Movement and with the Unification Theological Seminary, where I was working at the same time, getting my master's in religious education, and from affiliating with World Yoga Community, specifically with Dilipji, I was able to broaden my learning of the religious other. I was able to learn about other people's faith, their tradition, their background. You know, I was able to learn about, you know, their liturgy, you know, the teaching of their tradition, their worship style, what the, you know, what was said in the book or the translations of that, what each religious item meant. You know, I visited so many houses of worship in the 5 years that I was in seminary. I could not even believe it. If I could get an award for, you know, running around other religious groups' activities, I think the award would be, you know, conferred onto me, because every day I spend more time than not even looking for employment. But I was so intrigued, I was so happy. I don't even know I don't know the type of spirit that came upon me, but I was all over. You know, I went to so many, even Christian denominations, to learn about their religious services or practices, their messages, so many faith-based activities, because I was, you know, I was wondering, if we have all these traditions that practice or preach love towards the other person, why is there so many problems in the world? And as me working on conflict and peace building, I wanted to seek a different way where everybody can understand each other, you know? So that's where my interfaith love or activity came upon. And it didn't stop there, you know, it's only gotten better. And even at CUNY, teaching, you know, at CUNY, I've incorporated a lot of some of our activities or faith-based, not so much religion, but, you know, teachings of love and understanding or conflict resolution in some of our, my classes on how the individual can understand, or the role of the individual in a society, and different activities that happens in a society and how we can resolve it. The Libgy was actually a guest speaker last semester at York College, and we discussed tolerance and how people can come together. You see, so these are some of the ways that teach people. We don't have to whip up the Bible or the Torah or, you know, the Quran and be preaching in classroom. You know, we don't have to be saying in the name of Jesus, you know, I confer or this and that. We don't even have to. We can bring messages of hope, you know, because many people, many of the students that, you know, I teach at CUNY, many of them have, you know, at one point or another faced some sort of racial injustice. Many of them have been discriminated against. And we're not talking just Black students. You know, we have a diverse body of students at CUNY. Sometimes we even have white students, Caucasian students, who will approach faculty and let them know that they're being abused, they're being oppressed, they're being mocked, you know. So when we're teaching other people or showing our love and kindness, you know, of how we love other people, whether because of their faith or culture, we have to remove the single story of speaking to just one, using one person's, you know, experience to justify the whole. So in my own case, unfortunately, I may be a Black female, but I don't speak only to Black and white issues. I don't speak only to that. You know, I speak to humanity. I speak in the name of humanity. I speak in the name of God's children, you know, whether they are white or Black, male or female, it does not matter. And I spent considerable amount of time educating myself about other people, about what may lead to some of their actions. Perhaps many of us don't understand, they may have some negative experience that they don't know how to bring out the other side of them, unless, first of all, they have to show their expression. And automatically, unfortunately, because of the way that this country is built on structural racism, we assume, oh, they're racist, you know? So until we have listening ear, you know, we lend our ear, we actually become open and accepting and, you know, learn about other people. We're not going to resolve all these animosity that many of us have towards one another, you know. And I know you asked me about my childhood, and I went ahead and discussed my CUNY experiences, but I thought that would be very important because, you know, I deal with a lot of young people, the future generation, on a day-to-day basis. And many of them, some of the things that they actually talk about, you know, they don't have mentors. They don't have good people to actually discuss with. And we're talking of intergenerational ideas passed from one family member to the other, that they, you know, they grew up in a society or a community where all they see every day is the same type of atrocity, the same type of injustice. They may not know that if they actually branch out of those environments, that other people are not as the people they are used to knowing or saying all the time. You know, it takes many people to actually go away out of state or upstate to universities and meet other people. It takes many people to be bold enough to want to make a friend with someone who is different than them, you know, to be able to actually do away with some of the notions that many of us have been trained from the beginning, you know. So I think it's very important. My role right now as a faculty at CUNY, with all these young people who look up to, you know, their professors or other staff members, for us to be able to instill messages of hope, messages of tolerance, and be able to actually give them the opportunity to vent. So one thing I also do, especially in my intro to sociology, which is about the individual and the society and different ways in which the society functions, I give them the opportunity at the end of every semester to actually vent out academically you know, and write a paper about themselves, about a situation they've experienced and how that affects them, you know. So for example, this past semester, the final exam paper was on, you know, race and discrimination. The other one was on crime and punishment, and the other one was on deviance and social control. How has any of this affected you? And you as an individual in the society, what role do you have to play so that this will not continue to affect you? What are your encounters or your experiences? How can you overcome this? What steps have you taken as an individual to make yourself better so that you will not continue to fall prey into this, you know, statistic mode of being a number or just like any one of them? So we as adults, I believe that as interfaith or faith-based leaders or community advocates, we can touch one life or more, you know, teach our children, our neighbors, our friends about tolerance, about unity, about the love of God, you know, about, you know, learning from one another, understanding people's situation, you know, before judging them, you know. A group of Black boys running with hoodies on the train or, you know, in their neighborhood or something like that does not mean they just finished stealing or killing somebody. You know, it may just mean that they're just happy and running around. So would a group of white boys in the same, dressed the same way. Many of us, if you put the two categories side by side, immediately, because of the unfortunate presence of the media in many people's lives, and many people glue to mainstream media for their sole source of information, we automatically assume that the Black guys with hoods who just ran by are criminals or just killed or stole something, or they may come to harm you. Whereas it may have been the group of white boys who ran towards you who have committed the crime. But the society is more tolerant towards others than other people. And, you know, how many times also have we heard that a white person that the police accosted or tried to stop got shot because they assumed the white person had a weapon? In most cases, even if the Black person did not have a weapon, it's assumed that they're armed and dangerous, even if they're walking on the street naked and you can see that they have them anyway. But I'm appreciative of everybody, you know, not just on this forum. In reality, my growing up has been with, you know, living with people who are different from me. The high school that I attended in Nigeria had everybody from all over Nigeria in that school. So it was so diverse, you know. So from my upbringing, I've been around people who were different from me, who spoke different languages, you know, had different culture, who walked differently, who dressed differently. And me, being that I'm so interested in learning about other people anyway, I usually see the positive rather than the negative. So even if people are talking bad about me or something like that, I usually would say, oh, so how do you tie your wrapper, or how do you eat that food? Or, you know, teach me something in your language so that we can be friends, you know? So I've always grown up like that. And that's been my system from the beginning. And it continues up to now, you know. So 45 years on this earth, I think that the sky is the limit, you know. And with knowing the liturgy, my interfaith awareness is even, and, you know, friendship is even getting much better every day. Look at this forum. Look at the, let's say, 10 people or so who are here today. Everyone is so unique from, you know, different religious background, different colors, different beliefs, different ways we grew up. But here we are talking to one another, listening to one another as brothers and sisters. You know, I've been speaking now for at least 10 minutes. No interruption, no fighting, no argument. Because we went to seminary or we're religious leaders or we've been around each other for so long that the respect is there instantly, the instant respect, the understanding is there. We've trained or we've been trained in our religious faith or, you know, through the institutions that we belong to, like our seminaries or faith-based groups, that we should show respect, tolerance, understanding, learn about other people. You know, it's so unique. And every time we meet, I always enjoy, you know, my meeting. It's as if we should have 4-hour meetings, not 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Because if we look at what's going on in the media, would you rather be, you know, where there's so much violence, or where you have calmness, where you have respect, where you have joy, where you have hope, where there's unity that we can use as example to even better ourselves, to even better the understanding of who we are as individuals, to be able to love other people better, to teach other people that, you know, violence is not the way. We understand the situation and how people have grown up or what exists or happens in their communities. I mean, I live in a community of color, but, you know, of course, you're not going to see me on a rampage. I may demonstrate or speak out in different ways, but the different way I speak out is not going to be, you know, through killing people or looting or violence, you know. Yes, any other question?
I just want to add something about violence, if I may. Made me think, the violence made me think of when Jesus was upset when he went to the temple and they were dealing with money for generation. And I think the people that are violent, not all of them are looters, but some of them are so in pain, Remy. They are suffering so much for 400 years, 500 years. There's so much anger, so much pain in their community, so much pain inside them that they don't know how to get it out. And it come out from violence because they don't have another, we don't give them another channel to channel this energy into love, or into care, into something. They feel trapped into a society they don't understand because they have so much love inside them. So the only way they react by violence or by doing things that they may not have done in a regular time. But I feel what they do is like Jesus, when he was so upset, when he went to the temple and with the money and got so crazy and so upset that they were disrespecting God in his house. And I think it comes from the same spirit of like, they disrespect me, they disrespect who I am for so long that I cannot take it no more. That's the way I feel in my heart, Remy, that they come from that place. Not all of them. I understand you have some looters who really mean bad and are bad apples somehow because we all have them. But for the rest, I can feel in my heart their pain and their suffering. And the only way they have to channel it, because nobody, like you say, we are teachers. We have to teach them, you, Guruji, me, everybody, have to teach them how to channel this anger, to turn it into love, into something else. So yeah, your first word, Remy, was beautiful.
Thank you.
You're like one, teach one. That's really the base of everything, and it's beautiful. But understand that their pain and their balance come from a deeper pain that they have inside, and they pull them. I feel for them. They don't know how to deal with it.
Yes.
What can you do? You understand?
Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I believe I also mentioned that many of them have gone through cycles of intergenerational discrimination. And the only thing they see on a day-to-day basis in their communities is the same types of violence, the same type of discrimination, the same type of inequality, you know? So it's so unfortunate that the response of law enforcement to people of color is different when you go from community to the other. Of course, when you go to many communities of color because of economic injustices that many people of color don't have, you know, there's no the type of maybe income or opportunities that they will be able to use in getting ahead in society. most times they feel that the easiest way out would be to be deviant and, you know, taking this here and there because of necessity and because of lack of those necessity that, you know, if they take this because they're hungry, but unfortunately, the way the system is set up is against people of color anyway. Even the legislation, even if legislation were to change, even if there were to be police reform, the pain that has been bottled up that many people need to use demonstration or protest and lash out is really, to be honest, not gonna solve anything. And many of us, you know, we may say that we have inequality or, you know, we've been discriminated against, but since 1964, you know, the Civil Rights Act that gave equality to many people, or at least everybody, even though it may be on paper, but in practice, it may not be so. And also the power of using our vote, you know, many of us don't go out to vote for things that affect us the most. And many of us also, unfortunately, health insurance is not equal. So many people cannot afford mental health services. And it's so unfortunate, I hear what you're saying, that many people
really,
have a lot of pain.
I will add to it that, Remy, when a couple of weeks ago, before George Floyd, before we were in quarantine, you saw white people armed with guns, with rifles, to go to all the place and menace everybody because they wanted to have a haircut or because they wanted to go and do some things. So what the violence in one side of people being so much in pain, and you have the white people and nobody say nothing to them. We haven't heard nothing about all these people who went to the state house in Michigan and everywhere with guns, inside with guns.
That they wanted to go to church,
with
right?
With the Confederate flag. So, you see, you speak about the violence of the African-American people. I feel for my brothers and sisters so much. But we forget when the white people do the same thing with guns.
No one says anything.
No one do nothing. No one say nothing. I have shivers in my, I can cry. It hurt me so bad to see that. And so it's so unfair. It's so unfair that they go after poor black people who are so in pain. And you have the whites, nobody say nothing.
And then also, there's the subtle racism. I've had so many conversations with white people where I get very upset at some of the things they said of their priorities, but like you said, Remy, I want to be a teacher. You know? I want to bring people together. I want to bring people to their heart. So for example, when a white person says, well, you know, it's sad that George Floyd got killed, but they shouldn't be looting. I say, you've got it backwards. It's, you know, unfortunate that things are getting looted and that's wrong, but the killing of black people has to stop. You see the difference? And it's amazing to me how many people don't get it, but the hope that I see, because when this first started happening, I was crying because like Victor, I feel it in my heart, and so many of my friends who are African-American or African or of people of color were crying. But the good thing that has come out from this is epic. Never in history has there been such an outcry from around the world recognizing the injustice and people talking against white silence, besides white violence, even silence and complicity, that it's not a time, you know, like to be quietly non-racist, it's a time to be anti-racist. And honestly, racism or any kind of ism, you know, any kind of ism is anti-God, because God is love, God is unity, God is truth, right?
Well, so God is everything.
God is everything, but think about it. If you divide, as soon as you divide, you take away the unity. As soon as you say one is better than the other, I'm separate from you, I should have more than you. This is what I mean about anti-God, anti-unity, anti-love. And
Yeah.
Remy, what so impresses me about you, I've always felt your heart. I want you to know,
Oh, thank you.
first lunch I had at Guruji, I see this beautiful woman sitting in the corner, and I just feel her exuding love.
Thank
But
you.
I'm more impressed today because I did not know you came from a Baptist born-again Christian, because I do a lot of counseling of mixed families. And even in my own family, when I was ordained as an interfaith minister 24 years ago at St. John the Divine, and we had people of every religion praying, my sister, who was born again, refused to attend because she said she wouldn't be with people who worshiped false gods. And I said to her, I thought there's only one God.
That's one of the problems I also encountered when I started attending seminary. And we would have chapel services for all students and even visitors, you know, to come every evening at 6 o'clock. I quickly realized that the students at the seminary who were studying to be pastors working on their MDiv did not want to have anything with the students studying interfaith or other, you know, they didn't want anything. Yeah. So, you know, we quickly find out that in the moment that we're one family under God, you know, as children of God in churches, it's even more, I would say, more divisive, more racist than those who don't, who are not born again. And I also experienced this in Nigeria when I was growing up, that those who were born again wanted nothing to do with any other person. And we even looked down more than those who did not accept Christ in their lives. You know, we look down at other people and feel that we are better. And, you know, I didn't want this to continue to be the basis of my existence. You know, I love God. I may not be, you know, the type of Christian that I grew up to be, but since starting seminary, I wanted to learn my African spirituality to invoke or evolve my ancestral or African spirituality in the studies of my faith-based peacekeeping activities. And what many people even discuss is that, do you know, if we go back to many of our traditions, there's punishment of good and bad, or a way of acceptance of certain behavior or not. When you know that the God of thunder, if you steal, the God of thunder is going to strike you dead, of course you're not going to steal, so the society will be peaceful. If you know that if you kill your fellow human being, there's going to be a flood or a plague that will run through your family, of course. You're not going to want that to happen, so you will be at your best behavior. You know, I'm all in favor of revisiting some of our ancient traditions and see how we can bring them back to the present and incorporate them into our daily lives, because so much is going on and the society is just going upside down every day. If we know that, you know, there's going to be some sort of traditional punishment for certain behavior, we're going to be all at our best behavior, right? So, you know, yes, Victor.
Remy, it happens all the time. When we have, you know, some people say, beside disease that ready to survive, God have a way, you know, some people have cancer because the way they act. But I want to come back to something that you said. Until to wait until the way we die to confront God or to see another question, know that every day, every night you go to sleep, you're going to face God and you're unconscious. So every night before you go to sleep, it's a moment where you are in front of God. Every day, every night, at the moment before you fall asleep, you face God. You don't have to wait to die. You face God every night.
A beautiful Jewish teaching. Rabbi used to tell me that.
And every moment. So actually, the golden vessel, they knew that a long time ago. Every night you have to look. Where did you do good? Where did you do bad? Where are you? maybe you see you can change and do something different tomorrow. That's the beauty of God and the beauty of choice that Jesus gave us and we have, is we don't have to wait until you die to confront whatever we did. We have every night, the moment we go to sleep, at this moment before we sleep and we awake and we go into the other side of unconsciousness and we go into the spirit world, that moment we face God every day.
Every day.
From my heart, I'm telling you, every day it's happening. So every day you can, because God gave you the possibility to make a difference in you and into somebody's life. So you can change and come the day you die, you can come in front of him pure again. You don't have to wait the last minute. That's what I meant.
Because we don't know, each day we go to sleep, we don't know if we're gonna wake up the next day. So every day is an opportunity for us to make our lives right and be prepared to answer God. Yes.
So Remy, as a teacher, as a human being, I think we all do this in our work, but I want to know from you, because it seems, I always thought that interfaith, intercultural, I don't even like the word interracial, it's only one race, is a quality of the heart. It's a quality of the heart. And it's a question of an open mind, open heart. So what do you think is the keys to awaken this in every heart?
I think it needs to start from each person, first of all. If we want to teach other people, we have to understand what we're teaching. First things first, which means we have to understand ourselves. We cannot blindly just, speak to other people in the hope that we're going to change them without first understanding what that change we're talking about is. We have to live it, experience it, be able to even give share our life experience, share with examples, let them know that, there is God in me, so I'm impacting that love of God in you. Many people just blindly, talk to other people and they have nothing to back what they're saying up. Many people have not taken the time to self-study themselves. They've not taken the time to actually understand themselves first. If you were in the situation like Victor was saying, and you've been through so much intergenerational oppression or discrimination, you're only going to have one type of mindset. So if you understand yourself and you're coming from a different direction, it's going to be easier to impact maybe some sort of love. But at the same time, you have to live in the shoes or understand the shoes, the persons you're trying to discuss or teach, what shoes they're wearing and how to alleviate the pain that that shoe is causing. So many of us go out blindly using the single story, thinking that, oh, it may work, it worked for this one person, so it may work for everybody. We don't understand that circumstances are different, family situations are different, economic conditions are different, educational background is different, even access to food and the type of food, is different. There's a difference between eating junk 24/7. Of course, I won't be hungry because I'm full, versus eating very good food once a day and feeling even better, versus others who have not eaten, So we have to, understand, first of all, ourselves. Are we practicing what we're telling other people? If not, then we're false. I wouldn't like to say we're like prophets, but prophets are those who convey messages. So it means we're false prophets. First, what we preach, even if we're not mega teachers, even if we're not like guru or something like that, even if we're just neighborhood advocates, even if we're just professors who work at the university or even teachers in public school, but we should try to understand the audience. And one thing I like that Victor said was that, you know, the pain in many of these people's hearts, many of our communities, you know, I don't know if you remember that I mentioned that mental health facilities are not easily available. And even when they're available, they're overcrowded. So many people would prefer to just stay home and self, you know, heal themselves than going to a facility where you will be aggravated and your condition or situation is even worse than when you went there. You know, many people don't have trained professionals who can speak kindly to them. When many people, you know, they go to speak to someone, it usually has to do with healthcare facilities where you'll be given medication that eventually, you know, they may calm you down for a few hours or a few months, but then another type of disease or, you know, another type of issue would befall the person. Many people don't know about homeopathic or natural healing. They don't know about self-healing. They don't know about healing their own hearts, you know, because they've not been in the environment of those that they can learn from or who can teach them about those individual self-healing. And it's so unfortunate that when a society where other people from other countries look at the United States, you know, as leader of, you know, the world, of where everybody is so happy, where everyone has access to the basic amenities. But when people begin to share their experiences or stories, you find out that you may be able to have access to those amenities much faster or better or more organized than other societies. But looking deep down, the conditions of many people who don't have access to food or basic amenities, but they have a different way of nurturing themselves, healing themselves, is much, much better than what we can find here. If you go to many places in Africa, you know, many people are hungry every day. There are some people who don't eat in an entire day, but when there's music to heal the soul, they would have forgotten that they had not eaten the entire day. When they have family around, when they have loved ones around, when they share their stories and dance and laugh, they would have forgotten that, oh, wow, did you know I didn't eat all day? I was so happy having my fellow friends or family around me. So sometimes it's not the material things that we're taught to have, but the way that we actually teach our hearts, heal ourselves, and before we can start sharing with others how to heal themselves, you know, we should understand ourselves first and also understand the people that we're trying to use the single story perspective, you know, that because it worked for this person, the same category or situation will work for everybody.
I saw somebody new, Queen Esther. Could you introduce yourself?
Okay. Yeah, hi. Good afternoon. My name is Esther. I was invited by James. I'm a friend. I live in Maryland. I work with a nonprofit called Niger Worldwide Charities, and I'm a member of Global Women Africa Network.
Great.
Happy to be here. Very interesting conversation.
Nice to meet you, Queen Esther.
Yeah.
Are you part of the NGO, the African Women's Group for the CSW?
Well, yeah, I'm a part of the CSW, yeah.
Oh, okay. I may have met you somewhere during the CSW. I'm sure I know you if I see your face.
You look very familiar.
Right, boy.
All right.
Remy, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, Victor.
Thank you, Remy.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I want to add something.
I agree with everything that's been discussed. I think all the issues are keenly identified the cause for violence, the internal emotional imbalance, people feeling and expressing in a different way. And as Remy validly pointed out, that various aspects causing that, nutrition, food availability of opportunities, various things causing internal turmoil in people. And then as interfaith people, all we can do is to pray and radiate that love and continue to send the positive energy to all the people who are hurting, and then to make feel everyone better. So that's all I have to say. Thank you again. Thank you, Victor. Thanks for pointing out, and thank you, Susan, for pointing out various valid points instead of rephrasing and then summarizing. I'm just acknowledging all those thoughts. Thank you. God bless everyone, everywhere.
You're welcome.
It's Regina.
I think Pete said he had to leave. I don't know if he's still on.
And Ajarya Brahmananda. Unmute it. Right.
Yeah. Namaskar, everybody. It is wonderful sessions which are organized by Dilip ji, Remy, ma'am, Mr. Remy, and I do appreciate Reverend Susina. She has come forward and she has a valid point. Nowadays, the emotions should be respected with the full heart, because the whole society and whole world is suffering and struggling. And certainly we are in the first world country, and this is our moral duties to respond and come forward for the sake and safety of the human biology and human psychology. Because human psychology today is painful, and which we have to give some support to spiritual healing, moral healing, which Remy has narrated is very widely, which I do appreciate. And her passion, her credibility, and in order to understand then various things. Understanding is more important, and that has done. And Raj also, dear Raj sir, has done in such a way, and it is radiant to the cloud in the future and today itself. That is very valuable point. So I do appreciate each and everyone who participated today, and which carry on every occasion, so which Dilip ji will organize, and we are ready to support and participate. Thank you so much, and God bless you all safe and safety. Thank you.
Ranjit K. Sharma from India.
Yeah, it was really nice. I was feeling bad initially because I had the toothache, I told you. That's why I was not coming in front of the video. I was feeling a little awkward. But after listening to all these positive discussions, positive vibes, I'm feeling really great.
Oh,
I think
good.
I'll have my dinner really well now.
So your toothache is gone because of our conversation. That's good.
Yes, yes. Very true.
Love heals everything.
Yeah.
James.
Really great. I just wish that all the people in the world have similar thinkings, and all this world becomes such a nice place to live in. And I just hope for the best, and we all are doing, and I hope we multiply and people like us become more and more, and there'll be more peace, there'll be more beauty in the world.
Yeah. And I think Remy was so right in that you have to embody it. You have to be the example. Right. You have to radiate the love. It begins with you. Listen, right. Have empathy. And then it just radiates out, and it affects people and transforms people.
Very true. Very true.
James.
Yes, how you doing? It was very interesting talk that Remy gave, but you know, one of the things that goes on at the United Nations that seems to be missed is that the United States tend to have objective of maintaining 2 wars. And, you know, they deal with the issue of, you know, making money by selling guns, ammunitions, and actually making money off of war. And this needs really to be diffused. You know, one of the things that happened last week was General Powell made a statement about the lack of leadership in the United States. And it would be good if this group could, invite him and discuss how can we diffuse the war attitude within America itself. Second is dealing with the issue of the religious platform, especially dealing with the Dead Sea Scrolls as far as the book of the sons of the light against the sons of the dark. And if we're going to deal with the educational process as far as what's wrong with our society and why is there so much war aggression, there is a driving force within the religious, entities themselves to maintain war with one another. So, but as far as dealing with that, that's like a very, I wouldn't say unrealistic request because we are dealing with United Nations issues. But, you have to find a way for us to bring peace. And I think at this point, maybe the UN Charter should be reviewed as far as what's going on with the international relations overall. Okay?
Right. Gabriel? Gabriel.
Yes. Hi. Yes. I wanted to say, Remy, that was incredible.
Thank you very much.
It was so practical and reassuring and down to earth. I mean, you're addressing the real issues, not just the, speculation and ideologies, and, your feet are planted on the ground and you have real practical solutions and you're coming from the heart. So it was very reassuring and very refreshing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sachendra, do you want to say something?
Thank you. And thank you. And nice speech, ma'am. And thank you for very nice knowledge in spirituality. And thank you for Guruji and all participants. Thank you.
Okay.
Remy, you said something really strikes something in me. Absolutely beautiful. We have to, when you say people don't always listen and they go against us and they fight, but you remind me of Abraham, the way he had to stand and when he go to for Isaac. And after I remember what the prophets went through, what Muhammad went through when he started, it was only 2 or 3 of them to believe in what he wanted to do. It's the same thing for a lot of people. He's a very, like Moses, how many times they fight him before they follow him, and they put his leadership always. So we have to be very humble and very strong inside for people of faith to be able to share and to stay in a view, in what we think and what we believe. Because humanity are like children. We are the fathers and mothers somehow of a lot of children. And we have to remember the prophets, that if for all of them, for whatever they come from to teach us, it was very hard for them to be listened to at the beginning. And that's the same thing for us, because it's always a resistance to something. But the prophets, all of them from every religion, had the patience to wait and they found the right words. But it's true, Remy, that strikes something in me when you say about people, it's not always easy to be a leader. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of belief, and you have to believe for them before they believe somehow. And thank you, Remy, because that really a place that sometimes I forget, and you remind me, because I get frustration when I want to teach and I want to say some things. And people, I feel the resistance. And your words bring me back into a place of peace where I have to let go of frustration, that people are not always listening, and be more patient and caring and really believing for them when they don't believe themselves. So thank you for that, Remy. You reminded me of that. Thank you.
Do you want to add anything?
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah.
I wish I had started from the beginning to listen to, this very important discussion. Right. Unfortunately, I just joined in, okay. But I heard part of what my sister Remy said, She is right. I believe that, before you can touch someone else, before you can change someone else, you have to live that life first. People have to see you living that life before you can impact someone else. That's my belief, So I hope that next time I'll be able to join on time so that I can participate in the dialogue.
Okay. So next week, we are putting the yoga celebration because of the Indian consulate just called me. So Indian ambassador will be speaking with us.
All right.
That is more with the spirituality and yoga, not interfaith, because they don't want to do anything with the religion. That's fine. Whatever they want, we'll support. For us, it doesn't matter religious or not. We are a spiritual being. So that way we can save another day. And 21st we'll have the International Day of Yoga celebration. And 30th will be our bigger celebration, 27th annual World Yoga Festival. So try to invite maximum friends. Remy can host up to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
So we had to get more people to show a good number of support. So everybody.
And then, friend, for Guruji, I would like to add, please, please, please go on Facebook and give money and tell people to give something, even $1, $5, $10. It's for a good cause. It's for the world of yoga. I saw it on everywhere, but please, people, if you have friends, and tell them it's for a good cause. It's for taking care of people and give love and food. Guruji, I don't want to take your tender, right. But really, I think that we all should support what you do and the world of yoga, because it's really it's a gift to humanity.
And to add to that, I think I saw yesterday Gabriel started a racial justice fundraiser. And, I'm all in support of that. I will share it on my pages as well as donate. And we should all, support this cause.
Then everybody is safe. If anybody need a mask, I have some more masks. Gabriel will give mask to Victor, okay?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is I mean, what's going on in the news is so depressing and a few other things, but maybe we could put together, being that you're head of religious organizations, some issues as far as preventive measures for stifling the COVID-19 virus, like kimchi. Kimchi has been a very good food source that has helped clear up the lungs, clear up the throat, and and it has a lot of heat element as well, even though it comes from South Korea. But it's very good, and I find that I've been exposed to a lot of different areas, but I maintain a healthy state. Anytime I felt like, I know some of my personal friends are in the hospital because they have the virus, and in ICU, hopefully they get out. But eating the right food. And I know a lot of y'all oppose alcohol, but I think alcohol kind of kills the virus as well. Not overindulgence, but just a little bit. So I think if you put together a campaign, a positive media campaign from the religious organizations as far as dealing with our spiritual health, would be good.
Religious movement is secondary for us. We promote spirituality more than anything else. Because people are tired of religious group and the business group. We are really tired. And we don't want to reject people, but we don't want to promote them. But we have to bring education, what a universal need to sustain for people, animals, and plants. Because of the greediness, everything collapsing, nothing else. The manipulation of the knowledge is a problem. That has to be changed. Even that's why even I don't want to talk against the UN system, because we have so many relationships there, it will break everything. So we just stay away from all the politics. We educate. That is an important thing, nothing else. And the new world order will come itself. We don't have to worry about it. It will happen. Yeah. You see the movement is moving around the world with the young people. Educate them, they can change the world. I believe in them. And our duty to support them. Yeah. Even we cannot run around like we are like 20 years old. We are getting old too, you know. So that's the best part of our behavior, because how we got in this state because of our parents or teachers or neighbors or relatives gave us good support. And even they give us hard time, that's also good support to grow for us. You know, that's tolerance, the patience we should have. Another thing I always think when people do wrong things to me, I just give time for them to learn and analyze and change it themselves. Sometimes I had to strike on their face, but I never keep anger towards them. That will kill me. So I had to say, and I keep quiet. let them change themselves. So this is a learning process. So we should have a lot of patience. Patience is the thing will teach us very well. So,
Guruji, can you teach me how to be quiet?
Yeah, I have a mute button here.
Mute button.
Make sure when people, a speaker is giving a talk, never make any comments during the time, unless a host making a comment. And if everybody is giving their ideas at least 1 minute, let everybody to speak at least 1 minute, and other people can take more time. That we had to give the respect to every member. That's a part of the satsang, means a group meeting. It should get the voice from everybody, you know. So that's where sometimes they don't want to talk. They are not comfortable with their language. They're from another culture or a country, but they are good in their own language, in their own thoughts. We have to respect that part. Even though we speak in English, that doesn't mean we are the best people, you know. And people like me, we think in my language and speak in English. Most of the immigrants are like this, you know. So make sure everybody get a chance, at least 1 minute, talk in our group. This is not a commanding group. This is a family. We have to keep that always. Then what else? So
I love you said we're a family.
It is. I'll say global family. Somebody was joining yesterday. So I said, this is a global family. Otherwise, there's no point to have these type of events. You know, I was walking with Gabriel yesterday in front of on 31st Street. Then we saw the protests. Yeah. Then we took some photos with them and left. And we were sitting near the UN, and they came up there, and we joined with them. You know, and we are talking the way people behave. So interesting to watch. We never know what is the real stuff from any issue. It's very hard to understand. Sometimes police can be nice, police can be mean, people, protesters can be nice, can be mean, or third party come and create problem there. We never know what will happen. So sometimes we had to react to support police or protesters, depend upon the time. Our basic concept is whatever issues coming, issues will come. That is not normal. We have to learn from the issues and fix it. We don't need any more leaders. That time is over. We need only servants. Those who can do the work for the people. Otherwise, get out from the position. We need people with a mindset to serve the community. Otherwise, there's no point. We don't need. You know, they may have $1 million. You sit with their dollars. We don't need that. We need, even they don't have any money, they want to work for the people. Otherwise, why they are to be elected? Those are the people we need. So even mass movements can create some mess, when they are not educated. That we saw in Egypt and Libya. It destroyed the country within few months. That cannot happen in this country because we have the values here in the bylaws. So implementing is a problem here. That is a prejudice. I was discussing with the Gabriel. It's not a racism, prejudice. Prejudice coming from the religion or the business or the money or the education or their capabilities or the beauty. So that is not our job. For us, whatever they are, we have to accept them. We don't like something, just talk with them, fix it. They are not ready to change, let them go. That's it. But still we have to keep the hope, you know. At least 0.0001% we can make the change. That itself is a world change. Yeah. Something happening. So we had to all had to work hard for the coming up events, and every day we are keeping like a 30-minute silent meditation. Those who are open. Some people come, some people don't come. Doesn't matter. I am there always. So after June 30th, we'll make it every day at 12 o'clock. So that way it will be synchronized with the UN meditation and all other things. And I know New York is very hard for people to 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. The stool is good. I put it 11:30 because some people from India, they want to join. For them, it's like a 9 o'clock in the evening, you know. So after that, they can take dinner and go sleep. That's why I kept it 11:30. Let us see how it will work out. So,
Guruji, for next Wednesday, is going to be the regular Interfaith or the international?
That is a partnership event with the Value community and the Indian consulate. So they had to give me the details, what it will be in the program.
Okay.
So I know Ambassador is going to speak. That I know.
So if you get the information, you can send me. I can add it to the description, right, so that when people look at the link, you know, it will show on there, and hopefully we'll be able to get more people to join us next week.
Right. When we talked last week, I asked them, can we have religious events? So they got instruction from Prime Minister of India. They don't want any religious event in that meeting. So last year we had same way, you know, that was the event. When we said religious event, they don't want to attend the program. Without Ambassador's permission, my friend who is in charge of cultural section, he came to our event at the UN Church Center, you know. So sometimes we use our personal relationship, bring them there. And he had a hard time with the embassy, you know. So whatever they want, fine, you know. I'll make the flyer with the Value Community logo and the Indian government logo, and put council members from the Value Community pictures there, some of, not everybody, and see what they want. According to that, we'll go. We'll have 12 to 1 o'clock. Just keep it up to 1:30. 11:30, I'll log in. So you already made it. Remy already made the changes.
Yeah.
So let us see how it will work out. Then other events will come. I know 21st is the craziest day. So many events around the world. Yeah, and other people are asking me to speak in their events. It's the craziest month, June and September. All is crazy. Yeah. So let us see how it will work out. So Victor will get the mask from Gabriel. You can talk with him. Victor. I gave the...
Yes. I wear a mask with fabric.
Okay.
And I cannot breathe. It's very difficult. I cannot breathe. The mask is really remind me of George Floyd. I can't breathe. Right. Really. And we cannot wear the mask all the time. We cannot breathe. That's a teacher that we cannot breathe. Because the mask is difficult to breathe. Anyway.
When you go outside, you need the mask. You never know. Outside, other places, you don't have to worry about it at all. I just start wearing mask when the law implementing like a compulsory in New York State. That's the time I wore it. Especially when we went to Trader Joe's. I went there with Gabriel And they said, without mask, you cannot enter the shop. Right away, I took the mask from my pocket, I put it. There's no point to fight with them.
Me too, yeah.
And we all take homeo medicine and natural medicines and keep healthy food. So we know how to protect ourselves. We don't have to listen to the modern medicine. Modern medical system, they don't have medicines. They have suppressing sedatives. So, but the law says you have to do this one. We cannot fight with them. So whatever they want to do, they do it. We educate ourselves what to eat, what medicine we have to take it. You know, I'm going to put another talk with a few doctors that can explain what to eat and what medicine should take. I mean, just maybe after the yoga day, you know. So that way people can ask questions and they can educate themselves. We need like a natural style of medicines, you know. We have that lack of knowledge here in America. I know some movements are like vegan movements, vegetarian movements are moving, and indigenous movements are there, but still it's not enough. I want to bring some Indian doctors to the group so they can explain things. Yeah. Then what else? Anything else, Rajbhai? Anything else to add?
No, regarding the mask, if you're maintaining social distance, if you're outside, like walking, if nobody's around, no reason to wear it. It's not a requirement. Only is if you're close proximity or in a crowd, especially going to any public place, it's a mask. But
indoors, with people, you must wear it. Must. Stores.
Yeah, if you're entering the complex, yes.
Yeah.
You know, I go to walk every day, and
yeah, it's as long as you're far apart from people.
Yeah, that's
do you know what I do? Everybody wears it over here, and then if I'm outside and I see people,
I'm pulling.
Right? Yeah, it's the new fashion. Right. We have it like this, and then we put it like that.
Yeah.
Like when Raj wore the mask under, look
yes.
like a beard.
We're all wearing it.
Yeah,
like
it looks
a beard.
yeah.
I go outside, I have it like that, and I see people. It's back on.
Every day I go for a walk. I walk 20 to 40 blocks. 2 days before I walk 100 blocks. Then I realized my muscles are not working well like earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I add more exercise in my yoga because otherwise I'll destroy myself. You know, it's very hard for me. I used to walk 60 blocks every day. So let us see. I hope by next month everything changing very soon. And they may have some vaccines, this and that.
Yeah. Gurji, I just read this morning about the cases in Mumbai.
It's growing. This is growing.
Yeah.
Because they made some mistake and people are not going to listen to any rules because they have their own behavior.
I mean, the news for New York right now is very good.
Yeah, New York death rate is very low.
Yeah. But Mumbai, my goodness.
Some medicines mixing up, so that is working very well. And whatever money they want to make, they already made. So they don't have to worry too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything because of the money, nothing else. And this is another thing we want to make a movement. What is the source of this corona? Who are the people behind? That has to come out. The truth should come out, and people should make the decision what to do in the future. Otherwise, we'll have another virus in next year. We never know. And some
even soon, because many people are going out. Sorry to interrupt you. Many people are going out to these demonstrations, and we see them, they don't have masks on. So we don't know if there's another agenda in where they're even demonstrating. Many people may have, you know, because remember during the pandemic or even before the lockdown, some people would go spit on elevator buttons or doorknobs and stuff like that. So we don't know the agenda of many of these people in these mass demonstrations. They may be sick, but don't have masks on, so they can infect other people. So you just have to be very careful, you know, all the time.
And Remy, in 3 weeks, we will know, because they say it takes about 3 weeks for the results of these demonstrations without mass, people screaming, spitting. We'll know in 3 weeks what the outcome is.
Correct.
Hopefully it won't be, prayerfully, hopefully, I pray it won't be.
I'll wait 3 weeks, 4 weeks, because I was in the protest yesterday.
Actually, Susanna, in some place where they open already in May, in the beginning of May, some places where they do Memorial Weekend and things like that they opened 2-3 weeks ago in the USA.
Like Texas.
They have the case have been rising up.
Texas, Miami, I know.
Yes.
I know.
Then primary election is coming, Raj is flooded. Everybody, those who have American citizenship, definitely vote for it. Doesn't matter who win or lose. This is our rights to show we will act. And I'm not happy about both candidates, so I'm not supporting any of them. I was looking for someone else to come and take over it. Nothing happened.
Sorry, Guruji, I'm French. I could not run for president. I'm sorry.
All right.
I run for Jesus, though.
I always vote, even if I'm not happy with the candidates, which I'm not. But I always vote. I see.
Actually, I'm a poll worker, and I'm going to work on the 19th in New York. But please, even if you don't like, vote. I tell everything, especially my godson is African American. He said, I don't care. He's 20 years old. And I tried to convince him for half hour to go and register and vote and vote their vote. Their future, our future, depend on voting. With all the faith in the world, all the belief that you can have. Remember what happened with Hitler, with Stalin, with all the people all around the world. If we don't vote and the people who want to put them in power, they will crush us. And they have faith that they don't believe the same way. They have the faith on God, but their God is not the same God. They believe He's the same God no matter what. But that was something that Remy, you said something about it. It was very interesting. They love God, but I don't know what God they love, because my God is the love of the consciousness, is compassion and humility. So I don't know where they come from, but that's another story. But please, it's so important to vote. It's so important to vote, to exercise your right to vote. That's the only way we're going to be able to change the laws. You speak about the law that the police has been embedded in the 400 years in the police, in everything that they do. In order for that to change, we need to vote, we need to vote, and we need to vote, and vote. And I said 2,000 times, and I will repeat again and again.
Never give up
my
until
voice
we
is
reach
gone.
the point. So, thank you, everyone. We'll see very soon. I'll update with everyone. Okay. Thank you.
Can I add something quickly?
Sure.
If we're not able to vote because of our immigration status, we can participate in other means. We can do voter education, which means we educate, people in our communities so that they will go and vote. We can educate them on, different platforms that we want, or events or activities that we would like to happen in our various communities, so that those who are able to vote can vote, So yes, sorry, Dilip Ji, you can take it away.
So I'll say, our people should run for the positions in their local community, their boroughs or board, somewhere. People should try to get in and easy to implement things. We don't want to stay away from the politics. We had to go with our faith, We need more people with the more wider consciousness to bring what's supposed to be happening in the country, That's also a good move without fight. We don't have to fight with anybody. Because a lot of people are educated in our group. Wherever they are, they can go to their community board or run for the election. Or if you want to contact anybody in your board area, we'll do it, They have different links. So like we do things at the UN, you know, same way we go everywhere and bring people together, you know. We have to work for that part. If New York City change, world will change. So see you everyone. Thank you.
See you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Continue to remain safe.
Be blessed, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Belinda, are you here?
Okay, yes.
Belinda,
Hey.
you
Hey.
here?
Yes, yes
Hey,
I am.
I asked Remy to send you the talk because she was absolutely beautiful. Please, she sent mine. I sent it to you on Messenger, but her talk was absolutely beautiful. So I asked her to send it to you. She just finished talking. We just finished the meeting, but it was really
Okay,
beautiful, Belinda.
okay,
You would
that's
love
fine.
it.
Thank you. I'll check it on Messenger. Namaste. Bye.